now all I'm getting is frustration when I'm trying to review the app. Alright guys, today is the 1st of June and I'm going to be releasing this video today. I'm interrupting my programming of the regular content on my channel because I have to talk about the Sonos app again. I wanted to say that the Sonos app is resuscitated because it was a disastrous launch about a month ago on the 7th of May. And the whole app was launched to the App Store without a lot of testing. Patrick Spence said that he has been testing the app since Christmas of last year. If he is the only beta tester, then I guess this is why there's so much problem. Now, today, the app is standing at 80.01.30 for iOS version. For Android, it's 80.01.08, okay? And the last release date was on the 29th of May. Now, there are a couple of things that are fixed, and I would say that it is slightly better than on the first day of launch on the 7th of May, but there are still so many problems that I'm seeing with the app. For one thing, and right up front, I'll tell you, Trueplay for me is still broken. So initially it wasn't working because it failed to complete, but now it has completed, right? The reason why it didn't complete the last round was that there was a bug if the input is set to TV. And if the input has been set to TV while you do Trueplay, then it would have failed. But now it goes through. But the problem is after I did the Trueplay, everything went through smoothly. I put up my whole video right here. Yeah, so after the whole process, it still didn't register that the Trueplay was done. There was no switch for me to turn on Trueplay, and then I realized that the whole system, the software itself, it didn't register that Trueplay was done. So I can't even tell if Trueplay has been done. So if you click on Trueplay again, if I click on Trueplay again, it actually makes me go through the whole process again. I repeated that 3 times, and all 3 times it was the same result. Trueplay didn't seem that it registered on my Sonos Arc and the 2-Era 300 with a sub setup. So that is still a big problem. Now, I mentioned that we are now at 80.01.30 for iOS, and when I did a firmware update, so the app prompted that there is a firmware update, and so that you guys know, the Sonos firmware version is now 16.2. So there's software version 80 point something, and now there's a firmware version 16 point something. I know they were supposed to tie these two back, but it is not the case. So the last stable firmware version was 16.1. Now it's changed to 16.2. So what has changed, I actually don't really know, except for one small thing. Well, maybe it's a big thing. They are now enabling me to get through the whole update process in one go, meaning to say the firmware is updated without failure, right? So for the last 2 years or maybe even 3 years, every time I update the firmware, it will say it has failed, and then I have to retry again, at which point it will go through, or it will say there's nothing to update. So I've done a video on that also. I'll just put it up here. Now, today I didn't script anything. It's just a very big rant. It is still a bad update. I'm so sorry, Sonos. I really wanted to like this version because the UI is actually great. The UX, not so. Now, a lot of people say UI UX, right? UI/UX in the same breath, right? The UI is the user interface. Does it look good? Does it feel smooth to operate? I think the UI is all right, and everything is on one screen. So if you've been using the old software for a very long time, you switch over to the new one, and you're not quite familiar with where things are. You may have a problem if you're a little bit younger and you are actually very fast to catch on to how things are working, then the UI, the new UI, actually may look and feel more intuitive to you. But what I feel lacking sorely is the UX, right, which is user experience. Completely different thing from what UI, user interface, is, right? The UX, the user experience, is just terrible. Right now, I still cannot get Trueplay, right? This is 1st of June. First version of 80.x software was 7th of May. So almost a month later, I'm still living without Trueplay on my Sonos Arc system. Now, I haven't had the time to try it on my Sonos Beam Gen 2 or my Sonos Beam Gen 1, but my main system, the Sonos Arc, I still cannot get Trueplay working. Now, there are a couple of things that they have fixed with both the previous version of 80.01.11 or 0.10. They weren't updating everything on their release notes, so everything is a mess right now. Sonos, you really need to get this sorted out, okay? Stop releasing so frequently, right? Take your time, right? By the end of the month, release one unified version that sorts everything out. Now, I know you sorted out a couple of things. This is the Sonos Ace headphones. They work, all right? The user experience is all right. There isn't much in terms of interface within the Sonos S2 app. Now, I will be talking about this in just a couple of days, so bear with me. But I just need to get this video out over the weekend so that you know what to expect for the rest of June. And if Sonos, you guys are watching this, please just hold off your updates, all right? You are going fast and furious. Every week you're releasing something. Stop. Take a deep breath. Pen down what are the most important things you need to get sorted out and sort those things out. So as of now, there is support for Sonos Roam 2, right? The Sonos Roam 2 is not very different from Sonos Roam 1, except there's a Bluetooth button and you can use the speaker as a Bluetooth speaker without actually using the Sonos app to actually register and set up the whole Sonos Roam 2. Adding and editing of alarm and searching for content to use with the alarm is now sorted out. So for all those of you waking up, now you can wake up on time, depending on the alarm to wake up rather, you can now wake up on time, so all good. There's also improved talkback support, as well as there is something else, there's some screen reader. So those are for the slightly visually impaired people. I don't really depend on those functions, so I can't tell you too much about that. Local playlists, local folders playback is actually now functional. So they've added additional button or rather functionality to play the whole folder. So that is still good. If I select all the songs on my NAS, it actually queues up all 20 over 1,000 songs to play back. Queue management, on the other hand, is still broken, something that they need to fix. There's also a system connectivity boost for the boost and the portable products being in sleep mode. So that has been enhanced. I don't know, enhanced or fixed, all right? Maybe it was working before, but I always had some problems with my Sonos Roam. My Sonos Roam is not with me right now. In the sense that when you wake up, it doesn't really know whether to connect via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi if I'm at home. Right? There were some issues adding products, and now it is okay. There's no incomplete registration anymore, no need to sign in again, and you will be able to confirm the product PIN when you are adding adding new products. There was also another issue with the products running older firmware, and you had difficulties adding it to the 80.x version of the software that you're using on iOS or Android. That is also sorted out. Enabling surround and sub. So for those of you who have a surround or sub, now you can enable. Not everybody had that problem. I didn't have that problem, but I read that somebody has that problem. There are groups of issues with that problem that you're unable to add back the surround and the sub. Okay, and Trueplay, right? Okay, this is my biggest beef. So I think I'm going to title this video, I don't know, something along the lines that Trueplay is still broken as of June 1st for 80.01.30 iOS version. I don't know anybody else with that problem, so if you're still having that problem, do leave a comment in the comment section down below so that we at least let Sonos know that this is still a widespread problem. If it is not a widespread problem and it's just restricted to me, then by all means, keep quiet about it. But the thing is, if I cannot get Trueplay to work, if of all the users that Sonos has, Peter has problem getting Trueplay to work, then it's a big problem. Now, like I said, there are still a couple of things that needs to be sorted out. The alarms cannot be snoozed. The sleep timer is not enabled right now. There is also the searching of files on your local attached file server. That is still an issue. Wi-Fi settings not updated yet. So this has been promised in mid-June. The volume number indicator, which is something that I have a problem with because now I cannot tell exactly what volume I'm at. unless I do a quick hack and go into the groups, then the volume indicator number comes up on the groups section. But otherwise, when I'm trying to adjust volume on the main now playing screen itself, I cannot see the number. And that is important to me. I don't know how important it is to a lot of people, but I do use it to make sure that I'm listening at the same consistent volume all the time. And yeah, so that's important for me. The other thing that I wanted is the surround sound distance. So if you're not using Trueplay, Trueplay measures the surround sound system. But remember, Trueplay is still broken for me. So I do need to adjust the distance where the surround is placed from me. So it used to be less than 2 feet, and then 2 to 10 feet, and more than 10 feet. But that setting has been taken away. Queue management is still a huge issue. I cannot add songs without replacing the entire queue. I thought I read somewhere that they sorted it out, but as I was trying to use it earlier, I still couldn't get that. The last thing is iPad, right? Oh, my iPad is out of reach right now, but the iPad app for the Sonos app, right? It is just an expanded version of the app that you're getting on your phone, which is a pity because there's so much more real estate. You could do the groupings, you could do so many things with it, but the real estate for an iPad has not been optimized. So that is a real issue. Okay, now before I round off this whole debacle about the Sonos app, I really, just Sonos guys, focus, right? Make sure that the app comes out nicely. Give yourself another 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I really don't care, but just come up with one well-defined, rounded version, put it out there so that I can properly review it. Now, all I can say is that this is broken, that is broken. It's not sounding nice to you guys, right? And I am very sure you're putting in a lot of work to sort this out, but you do need to get this sorted out. I do believe that you guys are also rushing something out because of the Sonos Ace headphones. So I have the Sonos Ace headphones in my hands now. I've been listening to it. It's been great. I really love the sound and the noise cancelling. I'll reserve that for another video. If you're interested, do remember to subscribe to this channel if you're not yet already subscribed, and I promise you the video for a full review of the Sonos Ace headphones is coming really soon. But before we do that, this is my plea, this is my imploration to Sonos. Get the app sorted out. I cannot say this enough. Stop your weekly update, focus. Give me a 80.1 version. Stop with the 80.0, 1.07, 0, 10, 10, 11. I don't know, I don't care. Give me 80.1. Make sure that works well. And I promise you, I'll review that earnestly. Now, all I'm getting is frustration when I'm trying to review the app. Okay? So, peace out. Next video, Sonos Ace.